just like this. Come on, little miss. Into the drift, yeah, yeah.
Welcome to the world famous Tuesday Night Grift, internationally known on the microphone. I am Frog Tony, your host of the Tuesday Night Grift, and joining me in the grifting is none other than Transylvanian Jack. What up, TJ?
What up? Let's do the grift tonight.
Yeah, hell yeah. And of course, also joining us is our friend on the left, none other than Little Movie Perp. What's up, Perp?
Hi.
Are you guys excited? We're going to talk Star Wars. It's not dead, apparently.
Finally.
Yeah, apparently, we're going to have a new trilogy that's also going to be a Rey trilogy, but also it's going to be like Rey is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, what?
Hell yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We got to go over that. We got to go over Crunchyroll. Apparently, 45 million copyright claims that they have sent out.
Jesus.
What?
Yeah, 45 million. Now, normally, I'm on the side of companies protecting their IP, right? I get called a shill, a corporate stooge, because I respect the law and stuff like that, and I don't believe in all this piracy stuff. But
right.
Man, that's a big number.
That seems like it's not them.
Well, we'll get into it. Then we got some video game stuff because apparently Ubisoft is getting sued for shutting down a server. I didn't think that was possible. And also,
we could do that, man. Friday the 13th, we need to sue.
Yeah, and then we got another video game thing that people are very upset about. SEGA apparently is delisting a bunch of games, and this is some sort of egregious act on Sega's part. I can't believe they would do this. Terrible. Yeah, but let's start with the Ubisoft thing. Let's start with a little fun, little fun.
Ubisoft, Ubisoft.
Not me. I don't be soft. I'm never soft. I took a Viagra before the show started. Don't worry. All right. Ubisoft sued by the crew players over server shutdown. That's
pretty cool.
All right. 2 players are suing Ubisoft after the company shuttered servers for the online-only game The Crew. The lawsuit claims that Ubisoft misled customers about game ownership, violating California consumer protection laws. Many companies continue to remove access to legacy titles, angering players and causing concern over game. I hate that shit. I hate so much. They always throw in like game. It's not game preservation. It's I just want to play the game. Just say I just want to keep playing the game, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't care about the future generations playing it. You're not like, man, in 40, 50 years, these people need to play The Crew because no, they're just like, I want to play it. You took my game away. It's about me. It's not about the future or preservation. Yeah. Just right off the jump, what do you guys think about this story? Do you think this is a good thing, bad thing? You think?
Okay. Off the jump, I'm just like, because you have to explain this to it, like explaining video games and this whole service thing, everything to a judge and getting the experts, like that's hilarious. I don't know. Well, off the jump, I think it's funny. I don't know. I don't think it goes anywhere. Personally,
this is what they get for making everything, live service.
Because, like I said, you're gonna have to explain this to a judge, and then how does this work with a jury? Is this a jury thing, or I don't know, right? So you're gonna have to get the experts in there to explain to the judge what a service is, and all it's an absolute mess. And I could actually let's get crazy. I could see a judge being like, wait, okay, this is way too crazy. At the end, is the game in there? Is the game in that like physical copy? No, it's not. All right, go to the plaintiff. It goes to the plaintiff. Well, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how it works. Go ahead.
I agree with you. I can see it's going to be very confusing depending on the judge, how old the judge is, how familiar they are with this sort of topic and everything, online games, explaining things to people. Then, of course, you got to go through the whole end user license agreement. But are they going to say that the EULA violates California law? Will California law supersede U.S. law? Is this going to set a precedent where like games just can't be sold in California, right? Because I don't see companies stopping this, right?
Oh my god!
Like I don't see companies like going, oh yeah, we agree that we're going to keep servers on forever. Because guys, again, I've said this before, right? At some point, the company goes out of business. What are you going to just sue some like old grandma? Like, oh, I'm sorry that Fred, the owner of the company, died, and there's no other heirs. But hey, this old lady technically owns it, and so we're going to sue her for not being able to play the crew online, right? So I think it could get messy, and I know there's like a lot of places where there's wacky rules and stuff, and companies either change the game in order to conform to that territory, or they just don't sell it in that territory. Now, this doesn't seem like a thing that you can just change. You can't just make the game always online forever, right? You can't just do it.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that I think they can fix to conform to California law, which means if this does go through, in my opinion, goes through, the judge rules on it, eventually it'll get appealed, it'll go through the appeal process. If it goes all the way to the Supreme Court or as far as it needs to go, and they go, boom, we're upholding California law, this violates their agreements, this will open up many other people to sue many other companies. And I believe they're just going to pull up and go, well, I guess we just can't sell these games in California. California will just not be able to play online games no more. That's where I feel it.
Cali gets screwed again.
Warner Brothers is next.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of companies. Over the years, I mean, how many games have got shut down for servers? Older games, right? We talk about it all the time. Like the original Call of Duty, is the server still up for that? Like the original Halo servers, are they still up?
When was this game?
Oh, the original
When
Halo
did this
shut
game come
down
out?
ages ago.
Let me see.
This game came out in 2014. Well, let's read the article.
God.
It says 2 players of the online-only racing game, The Crew, are suing Ubisoft, the game's developer and publisher, over its shuttering of the game's servers, which effectively removed all access to the title. The Crew, released in 2014, was an online exclusive with no single-player campaign available for players without an internet connection. Shutting down the servers in December 2023 left owners of the game without the ability to utilize their purchased copies of the game. Ubisoft's decision to dismantle servers for an always online game highlights a growing source of contention for purchasers of digital media, namely that digital downloads are licensed rather than purchased. When older games are delisted or live service games have their server support discontinued, the reality of purchasing arrangement becomes painfully clear to consumers. The new California bill, AB 2426, signed into law October 2024 and going into effect in early 2025, mandates that this discrepancy is presented to consumers with greater transparency. And right there is why they just lost the case. You realize that, right?
No, explain it. I'm dumb. Go.
Okay, so this law was just signed. It was just signed in October of 2024.
Okay.
The game was sold in 2014.
2014. Oh, okay.
There's no ex post facto. You can't make a new law and then punish people who broke the law prior to the law's existence.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Right. So if I say it's illegal to use Raptors to stream, right? I can't, if Perp does it tomorrow, then he can get arrested, but he can't get arrested for using it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So I think
Minority Report logic.
Yeah. So
There
this
you
is
go.
going to fail completely. It'll probably go as far as like the judge. He'll look at it, or she'll look at it. I'm assuming judges are men. They should be. So the judge looks at it and he's like, "Hey,
Unless it's Judge Judy, sure.
yeah, this is
yeah.
there's nothing I can
No.
do for you because this law is new and that game is old, right? You didn't buy the game after the law was signed. You bought the game before the law was signed. So sorry, you lose. Good day." Now, going forward, though, there will eventually be a new lawsuit going forward on this. As originally reported by Polygon, the 2 players filing suit contend that the termination of access lessens the value of the product they purchased and would have influenced their decision to pay full price for the game in the first place. Okay, again, this language, this is not the argument you need to make. Okay, I'm not a legal expert. I just pretend to be one on YouTube, and as such, saying that the company doing things lessens the value of the product is 100% not an argument to make. Why? Because then anything that a company does could technically lessen the value, right? You can go, hey, they changed the rules, right? They updated the servers, they added new content, or they took content away, or they did this, right? They changed it from, like, Fortnite just went from Marvel, which I loved it, right? I was playing it when it was Marvel. Now it's no longer Marvel. I haven't touched Fortnite since, right? I could technically go, well, that's lessened the value of Fortnite to me. So I could sue Fortnite for deciding to no longer do the Marvel
Yeah, it's
thing,
too
right?
subjective. Yeah.
So I think that's very weak language, right? It's like everything, the value of everything is going to deteriorate over time. And I don't think you can argue. You could say that, like, what if you're a lefty, right? And you're like, hey, well, it turns out that the people who worked at Ubisoft voted Trump, so that lessened the value of the game to me. Or the
Yeah.
opposite, they voted Kamala, and you're like, oh, that makes it like, no, we can't be suing because you think the game is no longer as valuable as it was, right? When you made the purchase,
How dare you do that, Zachary Levi, for Shazam? How dare you lessen the value of Shazam,
Right.
Zachary Levi?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Going on. The lawsuit likens Ubisoft's removal of access to even the crew's single-player campaign to a, quote, pinball machine manufacturer deciding to come to your home, gut the insides of the pinball machine, and remove your ability to play the game that you bought and thought you owned. End quote. Again, this is a very stupid... I love analogies.
He also kicked my dog on the way out.
Yeah.
It's so
This
analogy, yeah.
This would be like, let's say I decided I want to start selling, I get a machine, I get a pop machine, a soda machine, right? I say pop, we say pop here in the Midwest, right? I get a pop machine that dispenses Dr. Pepper, right? So I buy Dr. Pepper. The only way I could fill it up with Dr. Pepper is to buy Dr. Pepper, right? From Dr. Pepper. But then Dr. Pepper goes out of business. So I can't sell Dr. Pepper anymore. Can I sue Dr. Pepper for going out of business and no longer providing me with the content of the Dr. Pepper machine? Right? No, I can't. Like, there's no agreement that you have to stay in business forever until I decide to stop selling soda out of my machine. Right?
No. Really?
Yeah. Because you don't own those machines. You license those machines. Like candy machines.
That's the deal I have with Kathleen Kennedy. It seems to be working out great with me.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. While the disabled server has drawn the ire of dedicated players, Ubisoft is not the first company to remove access to legacy titles. Delisting older titles continues to anger players. The suit goes on to claim that Ubisoft duped players by leading them to believe they were buying a game rather than renting a revocable license to it, and that portions of the game would remain available offline in perpetuity. According to the lawsuit, these actions violate California's consumer protection laws. The lawsuit follows public backlash. I was going to say blacklash. Towards the shuttering of the crew servers, which prompted Ubisoft to promise players offline versions of newer titles in the franchise and generated a, quote, stop killing games initiative, spearheaded by YouTube creator Ross Scott. Who the hell is Ross Scott? I've never heard of this initiative. How am I not familiar with this?
Stop killing games.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Moving on. As digital transactions rapidly replace physical purchasing for games and other media, it seems inevitable that debate over ownership, longevity, and preservation will expand. Lawsuits of this kind may become more frequent until publishers and digital storefronts address the issue in a way that players find satisfactory. Do you think there is a satisfactory way for players to accept this?
What do you mean?
I don't. I don't think that there's any way that players will ever be satisfied. If the game is free, but there's in-app purchases, they'll be pissed that their in-app purchases are no longer valid, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only way that I think players would ever accept that a game shuts down a server is they're going to have to go to a model that it's free. Everything in the game is free. Nothing costs any actual real world money, right? And then the game is just loaded with ads, whether it's ads in like billboards inside the game, whether it's like every like match at the end of a match, you get like a 3-minute ad that you mandatory have to watch, right? Because the company has to make money. They can't just put out a game and here you go, guys, have fun, go nuts. And so the only way I think players will be happy is if they don't actually pay any money, right? Because if it's free, you can't get mad when it gets taken away, right? I mean, you could, but there's no repercussions. You didn't lose anything, right? You can't sue. There's nothing to sue over, right? Wow. So I think that's the only way. I think that's the future we're headed to. We're headed to future in which we have ads all in our games. And is that the future you want?
No, not all our games, but I could see it working. Let's say if it's an open world New York City type game and you have like a Pepsi billboard in there, it's like, oh, that could be kind of cool and interesting and immersive in a way, you know?
But what if you drink Coca-Cola and you're like, fuck that Pepsi billboard?
Then you play the other game with the Coke one. You play
Right.
Saints Row. The Pepsi, sorry.
Let's see. Lawsuits of this blah blah blah. Ubisoft continues to struggle against player blah 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 backlash in recent months, following the delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows. That was a backlash. The potential shutdown of the free-to-play shooter X Defiant, and the recent release of a blockchain-centered RPG. I didn't know that they released a blockchain RPG. How am I not learning about any of these things?
What is that? What's a blockchain RPG?
Well, the blockchain would be like crypto and NFTs and stuff like that. So to be a game probably with NFTs or some sort of NFT component.
I don't even know what that is. I'm not going to learn that ever.
A non-fungible token?
Yeah, I've heard of it and people explain it, and I see like clips of movies that are NFTs or something, and I don't get it. So don't bother. I don't want to get
It's
it.
a link. It's real simple. It's a link to
Yeah.
a thing that you don't actually own.
Yeah, but they say that you do. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. So why do they say
No,
that
you don't own it. You own the link.
Why do they say? Why are they telling me I do?
No, you own the link. You don't own
Oh.
the thing at the end of the link.
What the hell do I do with a link? Wait, I don't own links in general? Wait, that's true. I
No.
don't. Man, this is getting deep. Okay, I own a link. You could own a link. Okay, cool.
Like you
Grab
can
it,
buy an
realize
NFT of the Mona Lisa, right? You don't own the Mona Lisa, but you own a
Right.
link that goes to a picture of the Mona Lisa. And your link is unique. So your link might say like, and obviously this is just simplifying things, but your link will say like Little Movie Raptor 1, right? And you click on that goes to the picture of the Mona Lisa. Then my link says Frog Tony 1, and I click on that and it goes to a picture of the Mona Lisa, the exact same picture that your link goes to. We both own the links
Yeah.
that are unique to us, but they still go to the same picture that neither one of us actually own. That's
So
what
it's
an
like
NFT is.
it's like a tile. It's like a tile in the Louvre to the Mona
Yeah.
Lisa or whatever's there. I got you.
What's up, Trixie? How's it going?
Hey, I came in because I got excited hearing about blockchain RPGs and shit.
Hello.
Are you excited for the blockchain?
I am. I think the blockchain is really dope and will eventually be like akin to a sort of god of a new internet. But it's taking a long time. It's taking a lot longer than it should because people don't want to learn about it.
A technological god. I think blockchains are stupid and unnecessary, and I think we don't
Why?
need NFTs to because everything you can do with an NFT, you could do without an NFT. You don't need the blockchain to do the things that everybody's talking about.
Mm.
Like
I
let's
just
say to take your account from World of Warcraft to the crew, right? You don't need an NFT to do that. You don't need the blockchain to go, this is Trixie, then I click this link and I can go take all of you could just transfer that data using servers, right? You can just transfer that data without the blockchain.
Yeah. I guess I don't see the blockchain as necessarily like replacing the internet necessarily, but like I think there's a lot of stuff that's difficult to do on the internet because of the fact that it's basically all owned by server providers. You know, like whoever is hosting your thing ultimately can decide the fate of your thing. And the blockchain, nobody is hosting anything. Or rather everyone is hosting everything. So nothing can be taken off of it in that sense. And that makes it, you know, obviously for anybody trying to do anything that's difficult on the normal internet, the blockchain is just a way better solution. And it also makes it way easier to control the flow of money through your thing. Or I shouldn't even say money necessarily, but you know, any sort of capital through your, like, control the community around your thing, control the, you know, it's like you're creating a private economy around your thing.
Right.
Now, granted, that has like no use for most people. It's mostly like this weird little alternate universe. But I think that if enough people understood that alternate universe, it would just be like a layer, much like the internet is now, a layer over our reality, you know, that everybody kind of just interfaces with in their own way or doesn't. But it would be nice if it was more useful, because like right now, the biggest problem is not enough people host the blockchain. Like there was lots of attempts to build like an alternative YouTube There was one called DTube that worked really well, and the idea was that like as people watched your videos, you got paid in crypto for the views, which was neat. But as soon as the site started catching on, it immediately was overloaded and like became impossible to upload to or watch anything. So it just crashed and burned like right on launch. And the problem is that like most of the people even trying to build experiments like that, it's like a couple of tech bros and their friends, you know, in like getting like a preposterous amount of money, but it's like 6 people doing a thing, and like they have no idea how to.
So what you're saying is if we
Not for
pretend like
scale.
we could do this thing, that we can get a bunch of money from investors and to just run off with it.
That would be, yeah. I'm really trying to figure out whose money do I need to steal. I've been watching a lot of videos about people who have like money and power, and they all stole it. So I'm like, who do I need to steal from to get this get this money and power?
Could have a parallel economy, a real one.
Well, you could, but it's so weird because you would have a parallel economy, but at some point you still have to interact with the regular economy, and that's where the issue would come in.
True.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be very easy for once all the old fucks in government are dead and like our generation's in control, the arguments about how to regulate all of this is going to be all there is.
Then we'll be the old fucks in control, and then we'll be like, no, forget those kids. We don't want that shit. But yeah, eventually the blockchain
inventing some new incomprehensible thing that that we won't even be able to wrap our heads around. Quantum computing is going to be like in a cell phone or some shit when we're old.
They were like, forget blocks. That's old. We got spheres now. We got the circle chain.
My expectation for the future is that we're all going to be blood bags on blood farms, where basically they're going to build like these big Amazon warehouses, and they're going to plug us into like the literal the Matrix. But people are gonna, like prefer it because it's just better than Earth. And the pay, like we don't have to pay any money for this. It's just blood. Like they're just going to have us hooked up to IVs and tubes and shit because old rich people want young blood. They think it will help them be immortal. So like
what?
I think they're you
didn't know that?
No.
Elizabeth Bathory. That's like the
Right.
Goes back way back.
You're going back really far, but it's still a thing. I mean, the stuff that rich people do, where they're like, you got rich people like grinding up fucking baby foreskins and putting it on their, like injecting it into their face to look younger.
And then I read the Q&A with the author. She said she
Sounds like a cool movie.
What am I hearing?
That's Perp's girlfriend in the background.
Sorry, my girlfriend. I apologize to you guys and the chat.
Sorry, I apologize.
I try to keep it on wraps, but obviously I'm bad at it.
Just hit her. It's Trump's America now, Perp. We don't got to worry about it.
Oh my lord! Welcome. My mom's been in a constant doom spiral for days about this.
Tell me about it. My mom too.
All right.
Yeah,
Speaking of doom
And she
spiral,
calls me twice a
Sad
day
to
now.
see.
She's called me twice a day ever since. Like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm cool.
Why would you not be okay? What is going to happen to you?
I don't
What does
know.
she
I don't know.
well, let me ask. What does she think will happen to you
I
specifically?
don't know. I don't ask. I'm just like, I'm cool, man.
Yeah.
well, I'm hoping my family gets deported. I'm tired of them people. All right. Crunchyroll and Funimation involved in over 45 million copyright URL takedown request.
That's so many.
That is, like I said earlier, I don't know if you
So
heard.
much.
I'm usually on the side. I don't like piracy. I'm the anti-piracy guy. Everyone knows that, right? I'm like, hey, if you can't own it, if you can't buy it, you don't really deserve it. Like, you don't deserve to watch anime. I'm sorry, guys. I know you like it, but it's not a necessity. You don't like. You won't die. Trixie's not gonna
I'm
fucking
gonna make
die if she doesn't see anime.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
make an argument in favor of piracy, and it's just simply that the anime industry is so fucking corrupt and awful that giving money to it feels wrong. And like everybody who made the art, they got paid already, and they don't get paid
Manga
any
industry
extra
too.
by you like buying the shit. Like I guess it'd be different if I thought that like the individual people who made the show were gonna like get paid extra because I bought the DVDs, but that just simply does not happen. Like it could be that they're more likely to get a second job opportunity, but if the show is good and it's selling, fucking at that point just there's no need to. There's like a threshold it crosses where I'm like, all right, that show's made enough money. It doesn't need mine. Like, I'm just gonna watch it.
That's an argument. That's a good argument. It's not an argument that I would ascribe to because I don't actually give a fuck if anyone involved in this makes any more money off of me. That's not my like. I've never like, oh man, I got to pay for this because I want to support the people or make sure that those people get fed. I don't care. My argument has always been, I was told that if I want something, I have to pay for it. If it is being sold, I have to pay to get the thing, right?
That's why none of us are rich, though.
Yeah, it is why none of us are rich. I can't steal. Like I just
have to steal to get rich. I've learned this. I've really been studying the rich. They really all do it. They do it in like audacious ways. There's a great video about Kanye West, like just telling Shia LaBeouf that he liked his clothes and asking if he could have some. Shia said sure. So he went and cleared out his whole closet and then did a pop-up and sold all those clothes. He did not give Shia anything. He just took all his clothes and sold them. I was like, I need to get on that level. Whose closet do I need to raid?
Is Shia like Hollywood's Charlie Brown? I swear to God.
He's actually in an LA gang these days. Like he's a legitimate gang member. He's totally lost his mind.
Shia's gonna die on a drive-by.
He also beat up FKA Twigs when he was with her, and that woman is beautiful and precious, and I can't believe he did that. So fuck Shia LaBeouf.
I have no idea who that is.
That's the girl from The Crow, the Crow remake.
Oh my God, is she in that?
Oh,
That's
her. Yeah,
I didn't see it. I heard it was bad.
Oh, she's black, so Shia was just doing the reverse thing. He was just, for all
Lord.
the white women that get beat by black guys, he was like, hey, I gotta,
Oh my God.
Jesus,
No,
Tony, you're on one tonight. Jesus.
Tony had a conversation with
Holy
a woman
shit.
before the show. Clearly,
God.
clearly. Anyway, yeah,
you got a $10 super chat, by the way, from Hayden.
Let's talk about Kathleen Kennedy.
We read those super chats at the end
we
of the
read that
show.
at the end of the show. Yeah,
We try to keep this nice and streamlined. Yeah. But anyway, my argument has never been I care about anybody making money. I care about the people making this stuff. It's always just been if I want something, I'm supposed to buy it, right? And so, like you said, if I could steal, if I could somehow physically force myself to steal things, then I would. But I just can't do it. Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's one of my flaws.
Do you know anything about the history of Crunchyroll and how they got their start?
I heard they were like a pirate site or something.
They were like the ultimate pirate site, is what's
That's hilarious.
Because like so back when I first started like watching anime through subtitles was like 2006, 2007. Crunchyroll was the only site that had like every show. Absolutely every show that had subtitles, they had it on Crunchyroll. But the thing about Crunchyroll is that you had to watch it in windowed 240p unless you had an account that you had to pay for. So even though all of it was pirated anime, you had to pay for that pirated anime. So it's like extra illegal, like more illegal than any other piracy site. But because they already had that structure in place of like people being able to pay for it, they struck deals with Japanese companies, erased all the piracy. Initially, they only had like 10 shows in like 2009 when they first started doing this, but it was successful. Anime fans were excited about it because they were like, oh my God, like
Legal.
It's like not only legal, but same day that they were doing the fan subs, like the same day the show came out. Usually it comes out like an hour later, which like basically only Naruto was getting fan subbed that quickly. So Crunchyroll was fan subbing anything they had at the speed that you could have gotten it from a popular show. And some of the shows they were doing were like unpopular old stuff that had like not really caught on. So that made it so all the like old heads in anime were like, oh, you can watch Voltron or whatever, on.
Hey, well, don't say Voltron like that. Voltron. like you're denigrating.
I'm not bad mouthing it. I'm not bad mouthing
like Voltron. Crap, PSN.
I wasn't sure if it's actually on there. That's why I said it like that. But I remember the shows I was watching at the time, and nobody would get those references. But like, so they quickly became the like most popular legal site. But it's just funny that they were by far the most illegal piracy site that existed.
Well, that just proves the point we were talking about. They stole until they made money.
Yeah, exactly. Just another example. And then, of course, they've been at this point bought out like 5 times over because they were doing pretty okay in like 2015, and then Sony bought like both Crunchyroll and Funimation and merged them, and then sold them, and then now it's like it's such a different entity that their corporate ideas are just not even close to what they had been 10 years ago. So I don't know what's going on with Crunchyroll now. I don't know what they're like.
They got to do in-house animes though, right? They got to produce and like in-house.
Yeah.
They've
been involved on the board of lots of different shows, but like that also caused them a lot of problems. So one of my most popular videos is called Dear Crunchyroll Stop, and it was about the fact that in like it was 2018 or 2019 when they announced production of this show called High Guardian Spice, which is just like very very Tumblr. Is the best way I can describe it. I actually ended up
the anime
based. That sounds awesome.
I ended up enjoying the show, and I made a video kind of apologizing for like because the showrunner of that got so ruthlessly destroyed that they are basically
the zeros went after them
out of work for forever. Like they're
as
on
they
Twitter
should
just,
be.
like, begging to get another job, and I'm like, oh no, you're actually pretty decent. But I mean, the show was kind of mid, but like it just got so much shit for the fact that Crunchyroll was spending their money on like this like Tumblr feminist, stuff instead of just like making the actual site better. Because at the time they were still using a Flash player. They hadn't updated to HTML in like 2019. Like I don't know, 4 or 5 years after Flash was dead. Their player sucked. I complained about everything about it in this video. It actually forced them to update it. Well, the funny thing is, apparently they were fixing it. They just hadn't finished yet. But because my video came out, they did it that month. They literally, I complained about it so hard to so many people. I guess a lot of people started canceling their subscriptions. It was the most powerful video I've made. It also got me like blacklisted from the anime industry completely. Like I don't get. I had been invited to Crunchyroll Expo the year before that. The year after that, I have never heard from anything in the industry side again.
Aw, that sucks.
Well,
representatives of major anime streaming service Crunchyroll and formerly Funimation are revealed to be among the most active in issuing copyright takedown requests. Rippaverse third among those, together totaling over 4.
Is that true, or are you making a joke? Is that true, or are you making a joke?
It's not in the. I was making a joke. Clearly,
okay. I wanted to know. Okay.
Imagine.
That'd be hilarious.
Via Torrent Freak, Google has announced that it passed the rather unfortunate milestone of receiving over 10 billion URL takedown requests from its search results for sites accused of copyright infringement. Did Google say it was unfortunate? I don't think Google thinks it's unfortunate. Maybe CBR thinks it's unfortunate, but I don't think it's Google. Its new transparency report provided deeper insight into the data. As of December 6th, 10,138,526. No, wait, hold up. 10 billion.
By the way,
526,722.
Avoid Google. Just use DuckDuckGo. They do not block any of the results. You will find your piracy anime sites immediately.
URLs have been requested. I disavow. Have been requested for delisting from 5,402,321 domains, indicating a rather small number of sites committing these alleged infringements. An even smaller pool comprises the organizations claiming to be copyright owners of the content and those that act on their behalf, at just 609,367 and 627,239 organizations, respectively. Funimation and Crunchyroll content combined put it among the most sought-after content to be removed, with requests for URL takedowns numbering over 45.1 million.
That's a lot of numbers, man.
That's a lot of numbers. But I mean, they're probably their board of directors are probably really happy. Like, man, look at all those sites. Look at all those people. 45 million people want our anime. We just got to figure out how to get them to pay for it. Right?
Yeah. When I worked my shit, when I worked my show, I talked to the marketing lady, and they're all very aware and very proud of, downloaded numbers,
Yeah. Well, I know when I was working at the Walmart in the logistics and all that, they would keep track of all that stuff. They would keep track of all the stolen stuff, so they know like, oh yeah, that's really popular. We need to like buy more of those. Not because like, oh, we need to have more of it stolen, but no, because apparently people like that, so we can't put those on sale and stuff.
Yeah.
Google's takedown form technically allows anyone to pose as an organization representing a copyright owner. However, it adds that false claims open up liability for damages, making it likely that overwhelmingly majority of the copyright claims were enacted on Crunchyroll Funimation's behalf. I mean, who's gonna like if you're hosting pirated shit, right? And you get a takedown notice from Funimation, are you challenging it? Are you like, oh, I don't think this is really Funimation? I mean, like, so I don't think anyone who's even pretending to be like these anime companies, right? I think the majority of people who would get them would never challenge them to find out if they are legitimate or not, right? So I think that's even an irrelevant point.
Well, I don't know. I do. I mean, if it's on YouTube, I challenge. Like, even if it isn't official, I'll challenge it because I don't think they technically should be taking my videos down. And oftentimes I win. Sometimes you're more likely to win if it's actually the real guys than it is if it's not, because the other guys don't care. You know, they're just trying to fuck you over. Whereas the real guys might be like, oh shit, sorry, we thought you were like uploading our video.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you're talking about like
but
YouTube. You're talking about like doing videos and stuff. I'm talking. They're talking like going to websites. Like if I'm a pirate website, I know I'm pirate. This is not like transformative. I just know that I'm stealing or quote unquote borrowing content from Crunchyroll. So if I got a takedown, like I'm like, well, I'm not going to jail. They're not arresting me. Fuck it. I'll just take the shit down, right?
I'll tell you about these guys are not worried about takedowns whatsoever. They might be worried that they could get sued or arrested, but they just make a new, like they have a billion backups. It's always the same people making these fucking sites. Like if you remember Kiss Anime, and then it became 9 Anime, and then it became fucking
I don't know any of that stuff because I don't pirate. Like, remember?
But what I'm talking, so
you don't know Kiss Anime?
No.
When I was hanging out at Crunchyroll Expo, with Miles, the guy who basically had invited all the YouTubers, and he's like the guy who works for Crunchyroll, who by his description is the only one who cares about anime, like sincerely, the only real anime fan there. And he was there with Mother's Basement, another YouTuber, and the two of them were talking about how they had like infiltrated the IRC chats of the Kiss Anime team with like spies to try to figure out how they were going to take them down and shit. This was pretty mind-blowing to me because I was like, wow, y'all are like involved. Especially it was weird to me that Jeff, who is just a YouTuber, was involved. I was like, why are you so involved in this? It was a weird event, but like, so there's like a very active war going on, like with espionage and everything between Crunchyroll and like the people who keep relaunching these sites.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. I got it, Trixie. You need to create an anime. Okay. You know how they got that one with like the cells at work where it's like there's cells with their people. Yeah, it's like that, but instead it's like DMCA's. It's like DMCA at work. Like the DMCA's are like this evil empire, and there's like the anime sites are like the rebels, right? It's like, oh no, it's a DMCA attack, and like big ships come down. Like,
yeah, you got to get like and then you got to get one of the DMCA workers, a girl, fall in love with a pirate, like a Romeo and Juliet situation.
Sure. I'll draw it.
This will be a great anime. This is actually
no one steal.
Trademark it.
That's the name of the title. That's the title, Frogtone.
No one steal.
Damn it! We got it. We're making $1 million. We don't need to do the show no more. Show's canceled. We're just gonna make anime now.
Who's gonna draw?
We'll get awesome amphibian adventure, sure.
Yeah, we got TJ. TJ will draw it.
Right.
Oh my god! All right, we gotta draw. What is a DMCA gonna look like? Is it just like the word? Like
whoa! Can't give too much away yet.
Oh shit! You're right. We can't have these discussions publicly.
Yeah.
All right. The data shows that despite over 8 million claims made for content owned by Crunchyroll, the company itself is believed to have only reported a little over 7,000 of them. Remove Your Media LLC, RYM, is believed to have acted frequently on Crunchyroll's behalf. Per testimony on social media and an extensive report by Anime Motivation this year, RYM is among the top 6 most active reporting companies in the world, with over 680 million URLs reported. The top 6 include Linkbusters, MG Premium, Rivendell, Cumso GMB, and BPI, British Recorded Music Industry.
Cumso.
Outside of copyright takedown requests, Crunchyroll, associated with the MPA and ACE via its co-parent company, Sony Pictures Entertainment, has been incredibly active regarding legal action. Major Latin American piracy streaming site. Thank you for letting me know. Cuevana.biz. Now I know one. I got one now. Announced its shutdown. Damn it, it's shut down. Planned last month following pressure from the MPA. Also last month, the MPA issued a subpoena request for several major anime piracy sites, including Hi Anime, the world's biggest anime piracy streaming site. Earlier this summer, ACE also requested identifying information on 5 other major piracy sites with a combined 137 million monthly page visits. That's crazy. I would not want to be like the biggest piracy site. It's just like a middle of the road one, right? Like just big enough where people go there, but not big enough.
You got to see the big one fall first, and then you could plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always looking behind your shoulder. You never know. Any day now, it could just go down. If you're running a piracy site, you should always have a backup plan.
So what do we think? Is Crunchyroll crazy? Is Crunchyroll in the right? Obviously, I am anti-piracy. Guys, just buy your fucking media. Stop being pirates. Stop being thieves.
Some of us can't wait. I don't mind that. I actually do pirate if I know I'm going to get like a copy later on, And it's like, oh, I can't wait. I'll see stuff without like subtitles sometimes because I can't wait. And I'll get the copy later with the subtitles.
I'm old. I watch everything with subtitles anyway.
Yeah.
Even when it's in English. No, but on a serious note, obviously, there's always exceptions. There's always reasons to pirate. If I could afford it, because now I'm not poor. Like if I was a poor kid again, like way back when, I did pirate things. I did, I had a whole fucking laptop full of every Nintendo game.
Hell yeah.
Did you Napster?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a.
What was the other one? LimeWire was the other one.
Yeah.
I think piracy, it really changed a lot about the way that like people engage with media across generations because I was a kid before piracy. I was born in 91, so I understand the mentality of like you have to buy it and then you're kind of, I'm going to put it this way, stuck with what you buy. Like not only in the sense that like if you bought it and it sucks, you're stuck with that, but like you only have as much as you can buy. And like I think maybe because I discovered piracy when I was kind of young, it felt like this big opening up of like I can literally, and I did, watch a 13 episode anime every day. Like I could just come home from school and binge a show and binge a show and binge a show. Whereas before that, it was like $25 allowance a week to buy DVDs that at Best Buy are $21, but they only have a limited selection. But at Suncoast, it's $30. So that means I'm going to have to do remainders. And, it was a lot easier to watch a lot of anime when piracy came out, I had nothing else going on in my life. So
I was born a lot earlier than that when there was no piracy. There was no internet, right? We had to go outside for our fun, throw rocks at each other, play with sticks.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. By internet terms, I'm ancient, but
I
don't know. Maybe it's because of the generation.
Like
I've
been on the computer since like 96. So it's like, like I was I was basically grown up on the computer. So it is definitely generational in that sense that like, I don't know. When did you start like really getting online? Like, were you already an adult or?
Let me see.
She kicked my dog.
I'm about to say like 90, 97. 97
Okay.
98.
So you've been on the internet for a fucking long time.
Yeah.
Were you
Like I
on
said,
like?
I've been writing articles about entertainment and critique and everything since I was like 18. Way back when.
Yeah.
But I think, again, because I'm older, even it's just like 10 years older than you, Trixie, but it's like, because I'm from that generation, I grew up not having abundance, right? So I was satisfied with the small amount I had. And I think when I started pirating things, right, as a young lad, and I got all those video games, right, I had so many of them that I think I was overloaded with choice, that idea that you have too much choice. And then I just didn't play any of them, right? Because like, what am I gonna play? Look at all these things I could play. He's like, oh, then I don't play anything because I can't make the choice.
Yeah. That's still my everyday life all the time. Is there's way too much. I think everybody gets that now because of there's so much free media or cheap media. Like you just buy a Netflix account and now you got fucking 700 movies. You got Spotify. You've got
you just
all
flipping
music.
through the movies. My old man, my mom complains about that shit all the time. She's like, he spends like an hour, Tony, just flipping through the Netflix to see what's on, and we never watch anything. It's just an hour of going.
Literally me.
Yeah.
First episode is shit. Okay, I'm watching something else.
No, he doesn't even get that far, TJ. He just goes into the where he reads the little description.
Not even the trailer.
That's like me too. Because I have such bad ADHD that like I have to be convinced that this thing is going to be like blowing my mind for 2 hours. And if I'm looking at all these movies that look like that looks like maybe it's 15 minutes worth of okay, but it's a 2-hour movie, and so you just keep going, and then eventually that 2-hour window you had to watch movies is gone. You spent it looking at fucking Netflix. Netflix is
TJ has that problem with women. He's like, he's got so many women to choose from. He doesn't know who he's going to sleep with.
There's been like
he just sleeps with all of them, and then it's just all right, ladies, all 10 of you. Just.
I was going to say, there's been like this discourse, on how everyone now is more or less in these spaces seeing stuff as content, right? And you do think like this whole like downloading getting so much of what is essentially art and now is just being pushed into content because you got so much into it. You have to call it content, right?
Well, like I said, I have like 500 games on my PlayStation, and I literally will sit there going, which one do I want to play? And I'll never, it's like 45 minutes before I decide what I'm going to play, and then I'm just too tired to play anything.
I do this thing. There's this website called CD Baby that just uploads ROMs of games and a lot of like hacks and shit. And I'll just spend like hours going through page after page of everything they have, like tabbing open anything that looks interesting. I'll end up downloading like 20 games, and I now have a folder with 20 games in it that, like, I don't know, maybe I sample one of them, and then I'm like, actually, I hate video games. So then I stop playing.
Speaking of hating things, you know what I hate? The new Star Wars trilogy will allegedly feature Daisy Ridley's Rey.
Woo!
Kenobi figure.
We did it! We did it, Reddit!
Here's the question.
It's my favorite site. Thank you for
is this going to be the fabled Rey trilogy? Right?
She's not old yet. She can't.
She will be.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Are they gonna age her up? Are they gonna like age make up Daisy Ridley? That would be funny.
She's like 30. That makes her old in women.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Disavow. Enough of those, Tony. You've had your limit.
There's no limit.
No limit.
There's no limit.
Make us
There's no limit when I'm here. If there's a trans woman around, you're allowed to make as many.
Yeah, she's 32. She hit the wall and
moon
faced right through it.
All her movies have made $1 billion. They'd be dumb not to.
All of her movies?
Every
movie she's been in?
No, all her Star Wars movies. No, not the one where she's swimming a lake or something.
Has she been in another movie?
Where she's a rabbit.
Yeah, she swam a lake. That was the movie she made. She swam a lake.
The Marsh King's Daughter. She's a young woman in the sea. She's been in 2 movies in the last 2 years.
She's doing another one. She's coming in. She's coming in hot now. Next year she has like a spy movie, I think, coming out. One of those.
I've seen her in The Force Awakens, and that's literally it. Because I didn't see the other 2 Star Wars movies.
She was charming in that.
She was in that. A new rumor claims that Daisy Ridley will return as Rey as an Obi-Wan Kenobi figure in the recently announced Star Wars trilogy that will be written by Simon Kinberg and produced by Lucasfilm president Kathleen gonna be fired any day now, Kennedy.
Nope.
That's what I would put on my thing.
I'll
I would
sue.
have it announced. Kathleen, I will be fired any day now, Kennedy.
Right.
Like
I'll sue
everywhere I go. That's how. No, just I think that she should just lean into it. And like whenever they announce her, someone like coming to the stage, Kathleen will be fired any day now, Kennedy. She's like, yes, that's me. Like put that in your business card and shit. Yeah, they would. You know how mad they would be if she did that.
Thinking of being fired today. I don't know. Might delete later.
Yeah.
She said that in a tweet.
That woman's old enough to be president. She's 71. God damn.
Wow.
She felt cute.
She looks great for her age.
Deadline's Mike Fleming Jr. originally reported the trilogy was in the works and noted that the trilogy will, quote, comprise episodes 10 through 12 of the Skywalker saga that began with George Lucas's 1977 first film. This contradicts the report that I read the other day that said that the new films will not be Skywalker centric. They literally, it was, what was it, Variety or Hollywood Reporter? They literally said that the Kinberg movies would be 10, 11, and 12, but they wouldn't be Skywalker films. They would be
Maybe they're
something else.
not. Maybe in the beginning of this one, maybe in the beginning of this one, just to really rub it in, Ray goes, you know what? Fuck Skywalker, and she drops the name. Just to really, they Joker it. They fucking Joker it. Just to even, that'll piss people off even more. They don't know how to, because they'll be confused of how to feel about that, right?
Here's what I'm wondering. What if, is this the Rey trilogy that they're talking about, or is this a separate? So she's going to be in 6 movies, or is she going to be in 3, and this is it? Like, oh, we were going to give you your own, but now you're just Obi-Wan. So you're technically in a trilogy, but it's not really yours, right? It's like this other person's trilogy that you're just kind of in. Because they were supposed to make a Rey-centric trilogy, right? And if she's Obi-Wan, then she wouldn't be the star. She would be like the supporting cast. Right?
I didn't even hear a Rey-centric trilogy. I thought it was going to be a movie. Okay. I thought she was just going to get a movie. And that could still be at play where she gets a movie and then they do
Episode
her as a
9.5.
background.
Well, okay,
but they give her as a background character to these 3 other movies.
Well, it sounds like it's not Rey-centric. She's an Obi-Wan role, right? So that means she's going to be training some other new, younger person or some shit.
She should. She was the most powerful Jedi. She's the most powerful Jedi I've ever seen, and it was awesome. Do you see what she did in Skywalker?
It's going to be a chick with giant hooters because
didn't she become like all Jedi or more shit?
Yeah, but like the more body you have, right? Because they tell you when Darth Vader gets chopped up, right? He gets less midichlorians. That's why he's weaker in the Darth Vader form, right? So if you had huge honkers, right? If you had like giant titties, you'd have more midichlorians, right? So they need a chick with like big old titties.
That's
like,
the only one that can
Jedi ever.
Right.
Huge ass and like a huge fucking titties. We've cracked the code. Everyone would love that movie. Could you imagine that? It'd be the greatest Star Wars ever. Lightsaber right between the tits. She just puts it there like.
No. Why would it make that noise?
Because that's the lightsaber noise. Like,
well, it's gonna cut off her fucking shit if it's on.
No, like she puts it like it's just like a thing in there. Like it just looks like a little like pipe.
Well, it's not gonna be on when she puts it in there.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
It's gonna be on.
Like she squeezes her boobs and like the fucking blade just comes out. Like she's like, "Come here, look at my boobs," and like the guy's like, "Oh yeah," like the stormtrooper, and she's like, and then like the sword comes out.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Tits. See,
that is pretty cool.
He also noted that insiders disputed my intel that Kinberg will continue that storyline, saying this instead will be a new saga and sit alongside percolating Star Wars projects with James Mangold, Charmin O'Boyd, Shinny.
That's the one I'm talking. That's the Rey movie alongside. The Charmin one.
Well, he's saying this one, like, see, they said it's going to be, Fleming said it's going to be 10, 11, 12 Skywalker. Someone else is saying that it's not going to be Skywalker. That's going to be
it's none of this. This is a waste of time. This is a rumor anyway.
Over at the Hollywood Reporter, Boris Kit shared the new story is not meant to be a continuation of the Skywalker saga. The name of the overall arc of the popular and pop culture dominating Star Wars movies known as episode 1 through 9.
Okay.
Now here's my question. I had this question the other day, right? As much as I rally and, go, hey, we need a Star Wars movie that's set away from all the Skywalkers and stuff, right? That's what I want. I want a Star Wars movie like set on the other side of the galaxy where it's like people that are not Skywalkers or Solos and stuff, right? Will the general audience accept that? Is Star Wars now Skywalker, and that's it? Like that, is that the association, right? It has to have a Skywalker. If there's no Skywalker, and it's not really Star Wars.
I don't know, it's like the fan base is so fractured that I hear some people say that like they want the Skywalkers done right, so they do think that it should be brought back. And then I hear another fan base say, like as you say, get as far away from that shit as you can, please. So it's like so fractured. It's up to the individual, the opinion of like what you want and what you think.
Yeah, but forget the fan bases. Forget the people that are entrenched. I'm talking like general audience. If the general audience seen a Star Wars movie, The
That's
normies
what-
go,
well,
I'm gonna go into the new
Skywalker.
Star Wars, right? And he's like,
From what
oh,
I'm
who are
seeing,
these
normies
people?
don't whether it's connected to Skywalker or not. They're just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, look, more lightsabers.
Yeah.
Simple as
I don't know, man, because they even like in the trailers they were definitely banking on like Luke Skywalker's voiceover and shit. So I can't even judge if normies would have gone in if they didn't have that in the trailers.
right.
They should screw everyone over and say that Rey got force impregnated. When she kissed Kylo, he put a force baby
Oh.
in her. And so there is a Skywalker left.
Nah, we need to bring Kylo back from the dead so she impregnated him and he comes back and
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
"Yes, I'm alive because of this baby inside me."
Yeah, I was gonna say just like in the Marvel comics with Miss Marvel sleeps with a guy, and then like she gets pregnant, and then she births the guy that she slept with because he's like a time traveler.
That's some Takashi Miike shit right there.
Yeah, they could do that. Like he force impregnated her with his own essence, and then when he died, his soul went into the baby, and it's like a new Kylo.
That's like,
But like
Clim-
a less nerdy Kylo, like a different actor. It's like it's Kylo, but like a cool Kylo.
less nerdy. You don't like Kylo?
He's not imposing. What's his name? The actor.
Yeah.
Adam Driver?
Yeah, Adam
He
Driver's
has
like a
the voice,
dork.
but yeah, he looks like a dork. That's the problem.
I thought it was cool though. I
It's
thought
like,
that's what,
Screech. Like, could you imagine Vader takes his helmet off and it's fucking Dustin Diamond from Saved by the Bell? It's fucking Screech. That's what it looks
Right.
like.
I thought it worked because it's like, well, I know this is going to get a lot of flack because of how that's basically been Disney's thing since, but like the whole Force Awakens, it seemed like they were going from a fan perspective. Like everyone's a fan of Luke, like this dude's a fan of Darth Vader. So I thought the fact that he was a fucking dork worked really well. Like, you know, he's even yelling at
Fans of
Ray
Luke
too.
versus
like,
fans of Vader. That could
yeah.
have been the plot, but
yeah,
none
that's.
of it's
I think
from
that
the
is
second
sort of the
movie
plot in
onwards,
a way. Yeah.
the plot changed, right? It's unfortunate.
It's all been, but then that's been like sort of ever since that's been like sort of the goal of all these studios of like everything's the fan of these group. That's how we bring all these franchises back. It's like, oh, Ghostbusters, it's fans of the Ghostbusters, you know?
True.
Like that's literally like the North Star that I think Disney's now gonna change. I think, you know, because I think they do listen to fan base, just not the way people want, but like in general, there is like a consensus
Right.
that is made.
They're very
That they-
reactionary.
Yeah, that they adhere to.
They'll hit one point and then, go straight towards that.
You know what they should do? They should like do a new Star Wars movie, right? And like you see the
Mhm.
ships approaching, like a ship's approaching a planet, like there's no life forms on that planet, right? They're like, yeah, we could settle here. And then like the ship goes slow, lands, people get out, they get their lightsabers, like just in case there's hostile shit. And then suddenly they're on fucking Transformer planet, and it's like Star Wars versus Transformers, the movie. Can we do that?
That's coming. I mean, they'd do Marvel before that, right? They'd probably go like Star Wars could land in freaking Doctor Strange's backyard any minute now. If they're all losing money, that could happen for sure.
All right. He added the internet. The intent here is to have a brand new characters and a new story, not to have a continuation. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. Although that does not mean that some characters could not or would not pop up. Following these two reports, Jeff Snyder shared his in Snyder newsletter that he's hearing that Lucasfilm will position this trilogy as episodes 10, 11, and 12. I want to be an insider that just says things, and even when I'm wrong, I'm just like, yeah, no, see, they changed plans because they're scared of me. Furthermore, he shared, I'm hearing that Daisy Ridley will come back for these new Star Wars movies, and her Rey be positioned as the Obi-Wan of the new trilogy.
Queen!
Hell yeah, I want the pumpkin guy. Can we go with that?
Transformers 1 was really good.
Was it?
The Michael Bay one? Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it. The Michael, I guess he
The first
produced
Transformers?
It. No, the new one.
CGI one, yeah.
It's called Transformers 1.
Oh, the animated
the cartoon.
Yes.
Right.
I heard that. I heard
the
it's
chick with the
amazing.
girl boss.
Hell yeah.
I guess yeah. She doesn't show up that much. It's mostly about the epic bromance of fucking Optimus and Megatron before they become mortal enemies for all time.
Right.
It's pretty sick. It's
Transformers First Class.
all right,
much.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
dip out because this Star Wars discussion is making my proverbial pussy drier than the Tatooine desert. I'll catch y'all
see.
later.
Oh,
All
I'm in
right,
Hoth
take it
right
easy,
now.
Felix.
Take it
Peace
easy.
out.
You're cold? That's not like a water planet. Like you should have.
Yeah, I tried thinking of something. I was like, what can I say? The clone planet? I was like, I don't know. It's rainy there.
Jar Jar Binks' planet. Where the hell is he from?
No, Naboo. Damn, you're right.
Yeah, you just said Naboo. Not only did Snyder claim that Ridley will play a key role in this trilogy, but he also claimed that Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy's film that is supposed to see Daisy Ridley's Rey creating a new Jedi Order is still on the table.
Told you. That's what I said.
He revealed that while screenwriter Stephen Knight exited that project, Lucasfilm recently hired a new writer to replace him.
Oh my God.
Albeit he also shared his own opinion that given that seeming redundancy with Ridley's Rey acting as a mentor, he wonders if a Boyd Chinoy's movie will ultimately come to fruition. He's saying, hey, if I do it, then we're making her movie irrelevant. Right?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's the new team. Force is female, gentlemen.
Future Oscar winners, all of them. Well, 2 of them are Oscar winners already, I think.
They should have a scene where like Rey's confronting like the real big bad, like who destroyed the Jedi Order, right? And it's like this old decrepit person and just turns around and does the fucking Vince McMahon. It was me, Austin. It's fucking Kathleen Kennedy playing.
No,
who destroyed
wrong.
the Jedi? She's like, it was me.
No.
Like, oh shit, Darth Kennedy.
If you don't think Kathleen Kennedy is self-inserting Rey, that's who she is. Rey is Kathleen Kennedy. That's why she's going to be in all these movies.
Okay, I was confused
True.
the way you phrased that. That
Yeah.
she's self-inserting Rey. I was like, whoa, that's kind of weird and sexual.
No,
Like,
the self-insert.
that's how she got the part.
British
So she-
brunette, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's
I just
her.
thought she was pulling like a Harvey Weinstein and self-inserting into Rey.
That.
No.
Finally, Schneider shared his belief that this trilogy is the last hurrah for Kennedy.
Oh,
Guys,
Mike, one
she's
more.
fired again. And Disney CEO Bob Iger when it comes to Star
Jesus.
Wars.
She's hurrying up production before the guy comes downstairs on set and fires her right there. Like they're hurrying up the
Yeah.
production.
He stated, "I think this is
Quick, stall him!"
Kathleen Kennedy,
Bob
and
Chapek will
Iger's
come back one day, we promise.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
making one last big Star Wars push before they exit their post next year. And I know Kennedy hasn't formally said anything, but I fully expect her to step down once she has charted a course for the future of the franchise. I mean,
Charted
eventually
the
one
course?
day she's gonna eventually like be really old and like have to retire, right? And at that moment, like that's when fucking Doomcock just shows up out of nowhere, like, I
Right.
told you, she's dead. She's gone. I called it. Finally. All right. I'm not excited. None of this blows my socks off. None of this gets me. I love Star Wars. The
None of
original
this
trilogy.
is true.
This seems like hibbity jibbity.
Well, even if it was true, even if all of this was true or not, like, I don't know, man. Star Wars is just, it's like with the new Marvel stuff. I love
they need
Marvel.
to do something new with it. Like,
It's not just new. It's not exciting. It's not. It should be
fresh.
like all of this
right?
should be exciting to me, right? It should all be really
Yeah.
fucking great. I should love this, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, I'm not interested in this. Like, I don't. Did I just outgrow Star Wars? Did I just outgrow Marvel in the last like 4 years? Like, am I
Did
just
you see-
old all of a sudden?
Did you see
I wake up?
Agatha?
That's what it is, probably.
I did,
You-
but you know
you
what?
didn't-
I just
didn't like it?
barely finished watching it.
You didn't like
this,
it?
like last weekend. It was just a show. It was just like it was there. It wasn't like I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, and I didn't like have those strong feelings. That's what I'm saying. Like it's just like you know,
Do you
something on
read
the TV.
Do you read comics anymore? Have you followed? Do you love any comics recently
Just the old
from
stuff.
Marvel?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't really like I said, it's just I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the content. Maybe I'm not hip with the kids. You know, the kids all love it. And I'm just not.
I do wonder if the kids are enjoying this.
All right. Let's end this on a fun little note. Talk about SEGA. We all love SEGA, right? So wrap this up with some
SEGA!
content. This comes from
SEGA.
Bounding into Comics, our second favorite site. In a
Uh-oh.
blow. Huh? Did you say something, TJ?
I'm just saying, uh-oh.
No.
Bundling into comics.
Hmm.
In a blow to retro video game access, SEGA to delist dozens of classic titles from virtual storefronts, including Crazy Taxi, Nights in the Dreams, and Jet Set Radio. Jet Set Radio is awesome, by the way. I love Jet Set Radio. Don't want that. Stop with the notifications. I don't want any of that shit.
Crazy Taxi. I feel like Crazy Taxi did go away and then came back, and there was already like a.
Well, they're
thing with
making
it.
a new game coming out.
Okay, that's what it is.
All of these games are actually they're making new versions of them. They're making updated.
Oh, so they're just taking out the and they're gonna vault them for a little bit and then probably release them in a later date.
In a devastating blow to players' ability to play retro games, Sega has announced that they will over bounding. What the fuck? Sega announced they will over 70 of their classic titles, guys.
English.
They will over 70 of their classic titles and will soon be delisted from various storefronts.
They will. Oh, maybe they were doing this through walkie-talkie. They will over, and then they.
No, what
right.
it's supposed to say is Sega has announced that over 70 of their classic titles, will soon be delisted.
Yeah, see, that makes sense.
Over.
And this shouldn't be there. Because probably what happened. Here's what happened. He originally wrote this in a devastating blow to players' ability to play retro games. Sega has announced that they will delist over 70 of their classic titles. Then somewhere along the line, they restructured the sentence and didn't take out that they will.
Amazing.
Maybe it's meta. They will take it out later.
Announced via. See, even this is wrong. Like they're missing a. Is this guy not English? Is that the problem? I don't want to assume that because his name is.
Hire an editor, please.
His name is Nicola.
It's worse, man. He's a gamer.
Well, he looks like he's Russian. Like it sounds like a Russian name, right?
Nicola.
Uh-oh.
Russia. The Russia connection here.
Announced via November 6th update.
Let me see those numbers. Who's paying you?
Support site. The eventual enforcement of this decision will see, quote, select games and bundles be delisted from virtual stores, becoming unavailable for new purchases.
No.
This is wrong. Be unavailable for new purchases.
Unavailable for.
Set to commence on December 6th. The specific titles set to be delisted vary by platform. For Nintendo Switch and PlayStation players, 2010 Sega Genesis Classics will be the only title rendered inaccessible. Look at that. We only got the classics. Here's the thing, right? They keep going like, this is going to remove retro players' ability. Like, if you already own this, they're not taking it away. They're just not allowing new people to buy it. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I have Streets of Rage.
I have all the both. I have the Sega bundle on Steam and I have it on the PlayStation. The 50 games.
Oh yeah, with the golden axe. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Xbox players will lose access not only to the Classics collection, but also Altered Beast, Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Monster World, Nights in the Dreams, Sega Bass Fishing. Oh no, not the Bass Fishing. Shinobi, Sonic the Fighter, Streets of Rage, SVC, Toe Jam and Earl. I don't think that doesn't sound right.
What? Toe Jam and Earl?
SVC, Toe Jam and Earl.
What is SVC?
That's what I'm saying. Like that doesn't it does not sound like a thing that I've ever heard of. I've heard of Toe Jam and Earl. I've heard of Toe Jam and Earl 2. What the hell is SVC Toe Jam and Earl?
Maybe they're on dirt bikes. I don't know.
Maybe that's like maybe there was always like some weird name that I never knew that was associated with Toe Jam and Earl. Like,
yeah, it was like they were like gas station mascots that we didn't know.
Who knows? Maybe it's like Sega Vault Collection or something. Toe Jam.
Oh, true. That's so true. That feels right. I think they called it. Sega specifically called it Vault too.
What the hell? I just see this one. I hate this fucking website. All those like ads just popped up in the middle of the fucking thing. And Virtua Fighter 2. Look at this. Ads. This is why I said your site sucks, Bounding, and then you blocked me on Twitter.
Oh,
Jesus. Yeah, look at this.
They gotta make that money.
Knights, Elliot, and Clarice successfully retrieved the Christmas star and Christmas into Nights in the dream. Really? Because that's not what that is. That's an ad. That's what you. However, the worst affected will be Steam players, as Sega is set to remove a total of will. They're going to remove my total will, guys. They're going to remove
your total will
of will.
Your will to game.
Remove 62 titles from Valve's digital storefront, including Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, Alien Soldier. Wow, I've never played Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, Alien Soldier. That's a separate title. That should be on the next line. Why is your site so fucking retarded? Everyone uses this site, but somehow you can't edit a fucking article. Alien Storm, Altered Beast, Beyond Oasis, Biohazard Battle, Bonanza Bros, Columns, Columns 3. Is there ever been a Columns 2? I've never seen a Columns 2, only Columns and Columns 3.
It's legend.
Comic Zone, Crackdown. I need some crack about now. Crazy Taxi, Decap Attack, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Dreamcast Collection Bundle, Dynamite Heady, Echo Jr., Echo the Dolphin, Echo Tides of Time, Eastwatch, City Under Siege, Eternal Champions. That
Fatal
needs a
Lab.
fucking remake. I love Eternal Champions. Fatal Labyrinth, Flicky, Galaxy Force 2, Gain Ground, Golden Axe 2, Golden Axe 3, Gunstar Heroes, and Jet Set Radio. Also, wow, there's even more. Kid Chameleon, Stalker, the treasures. Like, don't put a like
the ad right
or,
in the middle. Holy shit!
It's like in the middle of your list because not just an ad, but it's like it's an ad with fucking like a video or something, right? It's like they put an image, so they put an image in the middle of their list.
Yeah,
that also has ads.
It also has that.
Kid Chameleon, Landstalker, The Treasures of King Knoll, Light Crusader, Mega Drive and Genesis Classic Bundles, Knights of the Dream, Fantasy Star 2, Fantasy Star 3, Fantasy
Star 4,
Rise Star, Sega Bass Fishing, that's the big one. Everyone's concerned about that. Shadow Dancer, Shining Force 2.
Hold
Shining
Me Close,
Darkness.
Shadow Dancer.
I always thought that was Hold Me Close, Tony Danza.
It should be.
Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, Space Channel 5 Part 2, Space Harrier 2, Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, Super Thunderblade. All these games are in the classics, like 50 game bundle, I think.
Yeah.
Revenge of Shinobi, I think that's what they're doing. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
I think that they're just removing the classics bundle in all these games. So, okay.
No.
Sega has, yes, because Sega has a collection on Steam. It's the same collection on PlayStation, but on PlayStation, you have to buy it all at once. On Steam, if I remember correctly, you can buy certain titles one at a time, right? So
Yeah.
Fuck. So I think all these titles are in the collection, but you buy them one at a time, like DLC basically, right? You buy the collection and you get, say, Sonic, right? And then you could pick and choose what other games you want to buy. Or you can buy the whole bundle where it's all the games. So they're delisting the collection, but they're also delisting the DLC that goes with that collection, which are the individual games. All
Yeah, the Sonic. Yeah, because I got that collection too, but some of them didn't show up there. But if it's how you're explaining, yeah. That's funny. So they made fool out of you reading all that shit when they could have just said those things.
Yeah. Luckily, not everything is bleak, as Sega's website promises that while the games will become unavailable for new purchases, all Sega classic games and bundles you own will remain in your library, ready to be downloaded and played at any time. Moreover, those with a Nintendo Switch Online subscription will still be able to play select individual classic titles through the service's included virtual console. At current, Sega has yet to provide a specific reason behind their mass delisting. Probably because they're not selling any more copies. They're coming out with new versions. They're probably going to have a new collection come out for the new consoles that include extra games. Maybe they're going to include some of those games in the new version. So you buy the new Crazy Taxi. Hey, guess what? You get the old Crazy Taxi with it, right? And that's the incentive for you to buy the new Crazy Taxi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It would make no sense to be like, as a bonus for the new Crazy Taxi, you get the old one playable in the game. Oh, but you could just buy the old one for like $3, right? Like, see, this way it makes it look like you're getting something. However, speculations suggest a few possible explanations. The first is, in fact, that certain series like Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Shinobi, Streets of Rage, and Virtual Fighter are on track to receive new entries in the relatively near future. As such, it's possible that a misguided Sega may want to clean up their digital offerings in order to avoid confusion between the old and new games. Furthermore, there's also a chance that Sega may be preparing a new collection for these games and want new players to be presented with that as the main option to play their classics instead of the individual releases or the decades and a half old Sega Classics collection. Ultimately, whatever the reason, retro fans should be sure to get their hands on these iconic titles before they're gone. I'm pretty sure if you're a retro fan, you probably already own these, right? That's why I own them. It's ridiculous. What do you guys think? Is Sega wrong? Is Sega a terrible company for this?
No.
Seems like a nothing burger.
Yeah.
All right.
And buy
We
all
got
these
one
games
super
so-
chat. All right, let's get to the one and only super chat of the night. $10. Hater Headquarters says the onus is on them to collect rent forever on their IP. They gave it to me. If they want to make laws and send lawmen to stop me from having it, they can find me on the high seas. Fuck
Yarr.
IP landlords. I guess that's one way to look at it. All right. Thank you guys for watching the Tuesday Night Grift. As always, we appreciate it. TJ, where can we find you?
Here, always. And,
Here
you know,
always.
just back the book when it comes out. Awesome Amphibian Adventures.
Back the book, back the blue, MAGA for life. Little movie perp, where can we find you? Should we find you?
Yeah, you shouldn't find me, but if you do want to find me, you could probably find me stock the comment section of this channel, or I'm doing a video over in my channel.
And your channel is what?
This name right here, just put that.
Little
Movie
movie
Perp.
perp.
Just put that.
All right. Just put that. Guys, not just put that, because you're going to confuse my audience. They're not that smart. Put in little movie perp.
Yeah, put in little movie perp, and you'll find me on my channel or in the comment section of this channel. I'm always lurking and typing stuff.
All right, everybody. Take it easy. Good night. And we appreciate it. And as always, enjoy your Tuesday Night Grift.
Come on, baby, let's do the grift. Come on, baby, let's do the grift.